Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Horror Fever. This is Mikey.
And I'm Danielle.
We're going to read another R No Sleep story. The title for this one would be Something Come Home Before My Daughter Did. So this time, I'm going to read this.
I'm not doing dialogue if it's a man. You're just going to have to change your voice. This is not a serious storytelling. So if you're listening to this thinking, I'm going to be scared to death when I listen, you're not.
Definitely not
You're
going
probably
to.
going to be aggravated by
Why?
the time it's over with. Because we're sitting here screaming, cackling. If you're listening to this thinking, oh, I'm going to have some spooky vibes and I'm going to be scared and I'm going to hear stupid ass accents and you're going to hear
I didn't do too well with that
stupid
accent.
shit. Not serious at all. So don't come into any of these videos thinking it's going to be serious because it's not.
I'm working on my different voices.
Well, Mikey needs to learn how to do a southern.
Yes. My wife has been out of town for a work seminar. I've been taking care of the house while she's away. I never realized how much effort goes into the household chores because she usually does them. I hate doing all of them. But the chore I hate the most is doing the dishes. It's a texture thing. Wet food freaks me out. Hated life as I scrubbed leftover lasagna off a baking tray. It would not budge, so I bent down to get one of those wool bristle pads from under the sink. The second I bent down and reached for the cabinet door, something did not feel right. I looked at it for a moment before mustering the courage to finally open it. As the door swung open, my breath caught in from my throat. I left out a gasp and fell backwards onto my butt.
Is this supposed to be like a little girl?
Mm-hmm.
Should I do my gypsy road?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
I don't know if I can do it. I can do it when I say Cinderella's Castle, but I don't know. Hold on. Cinderella's Castle.
Do it. Do it like her. Do it.
Hold on. Cinderella's Castle.
Do it in that voice.
I don't know if I can say any other words. Hold on. I got you.
You gotta do it without laughing.
I can't.
Do it without laughing. Do it. Hurry.
I got you. I can't.
You gotta do it without laughing.
I can't laugh.
We'll do it.
Oh my god. I got you.
It's gonna be on.
It's Cinderella's Castle.
My 7-year-old daughter screamed as she crawled out from under the sink. I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. Then I said something I regretted. You're an asshole, Samantha. You scared me half to death. The words shot out before I could process what I had just said. I did not mean to call her a name. My wife and I had promised we would not cuss in front of the kids, let alone at them. I immediately felt ashamed. Good news is that she did not seem to care what I just had said. She simply stood up and wandered back into the living room before finding a comfy spot on the couch. I sat there for a moment replaying everything that had just happened before retrieving the bristle pad from under the sink. I muttered to myself as I worked at a bit of cheese that had hardened under the pan. After some scrubbing, it finally gave away. Drain swallowed it with a satisfying gulp. I shut the water off before wiping my hands on a dish towel. Then my phone rang.
Hey honey, how is the seminar going?
I put the call on speaker.
Hey, did the school call you? They left me a voicemail. I guess the bus slid off the road on the way to pick the kids up at school. They sent a replacement. Sam will be home late today.
I paused. No, there must have been some kind of a mix-up. I looked up at the clock. She'd been home for a bit now. We just had dinner. There was a silence on the other end of the phone. Then my wife said something I did not expect.
Are you sure?
What kind of question was that? I looked towards the living room and saw Samantha peeking out at me. What do you mean? She's right here. Of course I am. There was another pause.
I'm just confused. The secretary said she was at school a few minutes ago.
I rubbed the back of my neck. I had absolutely no idea what to say. Well, unless she's been learning magic at the school, she can't be in two places at once. I hoped this would make my wife laugh, but it didn't.
That's just so weird.
I'm not sure what to tell you. She's been here with me for at least 2 hours now. I looked at Samantha. It was right at the moment she did something that still haunts me. She grinned. Then she winked. The wink caught me off guard. It did not feel like a Sam thing to do. I watched as she opened her mouth to speak, but no words come out. I leaned in closer, thinking that maybe I had not heard her. She kept smiling.
Maybe it was just a mix-up, I guess. I'm just happy she is home safe and warm. They're calling for freezing temperatures tonight. Can I talk to her?
At first I did not register the question because I was still processing Sam's odd behavior. My wife asked again. This time, I held the phone out. Your mom wants to talk to you. Come say hi. Samantha continued to grin at me. Then she shook her head. She doesn't want to, I said. She's probably tired.
That's okay. I'm feeling kind of tired too. Traveling is exhausting. I'm going to hit the hay before long myself. I just wanted to make sure she got home safe.
I wished my wife a good night and hung up the phone. Then I called for Sam. Hey kiddo, did you hear Mom on the phone? I think we may have finally driven her insane. She says you're still at school. I was met with silence. I stood there for a moment before putting the last of the clean dishes away. Then something strange down on me. I no longer heard the TV. Sam, did you hear me? When she did not respond again, I peered around the corner. I half expected her to jump out at me again, but noticed something else. The living room was completely dark. When she did not respond again, I peered around the corner. I half expected her to jump out at me again, but I noticed something else unsettling. The living room was completely dark. This was weird because it definitely was not like that for a few seconds before I got off the phone. I figured that maybe she had simply gone to sleep, so I tiptoed into the living room. It took my eyes off a moment to focus in the dark. I scanned the room. I expected her curled on the couch. As I got closer, the realization hit me. Sam was not there. I stood there for a moment not knowing what to think. I thought maybe this was another one of her games. Samantha, I'm sufficiently creeped out for the day. I do not want to play anymore. I flipped on the lights. I was sure she would jump out and get me. But to my horror, nothing happened. Then I remembered what my wife said about freezing temps, and a horrifying thought crossed my mind. I hoped that she not make her way outside to try to scare me. It would only take a few minutes for her to get frostbite. I made my way to the door and slipped my boots on. The cold air immediately stung my face as I stepped outside. Sam, are you out here? You need to come inside if you are. It's too cold to be out here messing around. I walked around the entire perimeter of the house. Samantha was nowhere to be found. Then I looked out onto the road and noticed the second strangest thing I would see that night. There were no footprints leading to the house or tire tracks on the road. I knew this was not possible since it had not snowed since Sam got home from school. I threw the door open and then kicked my boots off of the door. Samantha, where are you? This is not funny. My eyes landed on the sink. I felt my stomach begin to twist. Here we go, round two. I was sure of it. I reached for the cabinet door. The gotcha was finally going to happen. But to my dismay, the door swung open with ease. The cabinet was empty. The only thing that met me was the smell of bleach. I had never wanted to be scared by a little kid more than a moment. I picked up my phone and dialed my wife because absolutely nothing made sense. My heart pounded as I heard the first ring. I did not know how I was going to explain what had happened.
Hey, I was just about to call you. I wanted to let you know Sam will be late to...
The sound of a hiss outside my attention. It was accompanied by a low rumble. I watched out the window as my daughter walked off the school bus for a second time that day. She made her way inside and gave me a big hug. She said she missed me. She looked at me and said something I would never forget.
How am I supposed to say that whole sentence?
You can do it.
You...
You gotta do it.
You look like you saw...
Go on.
You look like you saw a ghost, Daddy.
You gotta do it without laughing.
I can't.
Do it again.
You look like you saw a ghost, Daddy.
You gotta do it without laughing.
I can't.
You can do it.
You look like you saw a ghost, Daddy.
Without thinking, I replied, I think I did, sweetheart. What was going on?
I think it was a skinwalker or something.
Skinwalker? It could have been. I did not really understand this one. But that was my first time reading, so I apologize about the reading. It's a little bit of nervousness.
Now we're going to read another one from r/no sleep. The animals on my farm always kill their newborns, and it is by Gretel Cat. Before I take my life tonight, I need to write down what brought me to this point, just for my own sanity, just as a catharsis. If I feel brave, I'll post it on the internet when I'm done, and if I do, if I'm actually talking to some human soul out there, know that I'm at eternal peace as you read this. My favorite animal on my fiance's farm was Sausage. She was an enormous hog who might have been intimidating if she wasn't so lovey-dovey. Sausage acted like a dog whenever I came around, always wanted to be scratched behind the ears and made little grunts and snorts if I wasn't giving her enough attention. In fact, she was the one who sold me on the whole farm thing. It was scary for me to move in with Anthony and his sheep, goats, chickens, turkeys, pigs, donkey, and salt. Oh, I was going to say sausage.
Sausage is good.
Before that, I'd owned a total of 2 fish and a hermit crab. Hermit crabs fucking stink. But I was in love with him, and he was in love with me, even in spite of all my anxieties and manias and foibles. I took a leap of faith, moving onto his 40-acre Midwest ranch a few months before the wedding. His father had raised him here, but had passed away a year before we met. After only a few days, I stopped nagging him about selling the property and moving closer to a city. Just a few days. That's how long it took for Sweet Sausage to teach me that farm animals were not pets, but like judgmental of you. as I had originally told Tony. She was smart and affectionate. She was my friend, and it didn't take long before I developed similar sentiments toward the rest of my new family. Sausage was pregnant when I moved in, and she was due to give birth just 1 week after Anthony and I returned from our honeymoon. Though I was on the verge of having a panic attack the whole time, I was there from start to finish delivering all 4 piglets. They seemed healthy, and I was overwhelmingly proud of myself. The following day, he brought over the 2 little boys who lived across the street, as was tradition, to name the newbies. The runt was, not so creatively, christened Pee-wee. For a few days, everything went well. The new piglets required a lot of care, but were super cute. Besides, I was confident that between Sausage's nurturing disposition and Tony's expertise, they could make up for whatever I messed up. Piglets were only a few days old when everything happened. After the chores were done for the day, Tony and I fell asleep holding each other like the happy newlyweds we were. I hadn't been out for long when a deafening squeal shattered my sleep. I spasmed away from Tony and whipped my head towards the window. I can't even describe the feeling that swelled in my chest at that noise. It was shrill, desperate, horrified. The 2 of us flew downstairs and across the field to the pig pen. By the time we had reached the front door, the squeal tapered off like a stereo being unplugged. With just the light of the moon to guide us, I didn't make out what was happening until we were a few steps from the pen. I'm in tears remembering this. Poor Pee-wee. His little body was just destroyed. It looked like he had been banged against a wall repeatedly. His legs were dislocated, his body swelling with bruises, tiny nose twitching as it were the first step to being able to move again. He would never move again. His glassy little eyes rolled toward us as we burst through the gate, and there was Sausage, calm as ever, looming over her newborn. Mechanically, almost gently, she gathered Pee-wee by his scruff and jerked back her head. "No, Sausage, no!" I was about to lunge at her, but Tony grabbed my arm. I made a hysterical whimper as the pig slammed its snout into the ground with Pee-wee in her mouth. The ensuing crunching noise almost brought me to my knees. Tony whispered,
It's over, Wanda. He's gone.
He was right. Pee-wee was probably dead the instant he made contact with the dirt. I wasn't sure how many times Sausage had smashed him into the ground like this before we arrived, but I understood why Tony had held me back. If I had stopped her just then, we would have been responsible for a mercy killing. The most humane thing was to let nature take its course. What the hell was natural about any of this? Tony had tears in his eyes as he scooped up the 3 remaining piglets, who were cowering in a corner. Meanwhile, Sausage nudged the body of her runt and, satisfied that he was thoroughly dead, meandered over to the slop tub. I watched Tony deposit the piglets in the next pen over so that a swath of fence separated them from their mother. He told me to wait inside while he buried Pee-wee. I was all crawled out by the time he come upstairs. He looked more enervated than I'd ever seen him, soaked in sweat and smudged with dirt. Tony sat across from me on the bed. He didn't say anything for a long time. Finally, he raised his brown eyes to mine and said,
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
I thought you were going to do a redneck voice.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
That is... It's not redneck.
Juanita, there's something I've not told you.
You love a transatlantic accent.
I can't talk.
You're talking like you're from the 50s.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
No.
I can't talk redneck.
You can't make yourself sound more country.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
You are really good at transatlantic. You are giving Evan
I can't
Peters.
do redneck.
You can't make yourself sound more country.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
Oh my god. Okay, well we're just in we're doing
How do you do how do you do a redneck accent?
like Larry the Cable Guy.
Different voices.
You can't make yourself sound like super country.
Mm-mm. Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
See, you're doing this thing where you're like you're making yourself nasally.
How would you do a redneck voice?
Like, instead of saying Juanita, you'd be like, Juanita.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
We talk slow.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like, Juanita, there's something I ain't told you. Like that. Like, instead of told, it's like toad.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
I'm disappointed.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you. I can't talk.
You're killing me.
I can't do it.
It's like,
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
you're doing that like.
I can't do it.
Say, Juanita.
Juanita,
No. There's something.
there's something.
No. You're saying, there's something.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
You gotta change haven't to ain't.
Juanita, there's something I haven't told you.
You're saying something. You gotta get rid of the G. Juanita, there's something I ain't told you.
Okay. Juanita, there's something I ain't told you.
No. We'll just keep going.
Juanita, there's something I ain't told you.
Told you.
I ain't told you.
Juanita,
Juanita,
There is something.
there is something.
No, something.
Juanita, there is something.
I
I ain't told you. Like that?
Something. You're not going to do it, though.
Juanita, there is something I ain't told you.
Oh, my God. I can count on one hand the number of times I'd heard him call me by my full name. A chill ran up my spine. What? Oh, you got a big paragraph.
What?
That whole paragraph is you. And you got to do it in that voice.
This, what happened tonight, there is not new.
Are you Forrest Gump all of a sudden?
I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to
No. You got to do it.
This, what happened tonight, there. This, what happened tonight, is not new.
You are killing me.
I just want to make it funny. This, what happened tonight, is not new. All the animals on the farm kill their newborns one by one unless they're separated immediately. I don't know why. I mean, honestly, there is no explanation, scientific or otherwise. I have ever found this behavior. It's just, it always happens on this farm.
All the animals on this here farm kill their newborns one by one unless they are separated immediately. I don't know why. I mean, honestly, there is no explanation, scientific or otherwise, I have ever found for this behavior. It's just, it has always happened on this here farm. He looked away. I scooted closer. How is that possible?
I don't know. I'm sorry. It ain't a satisfying answer, but it's all I can tell you.
But even Saucy? I asked, invoking the nickname I'd given my favorite farm animal.
All of them, Wanda. All of them. I know you're wondering why I didn't separate the babies right away, but it's just because I was being selfish. I watched him clench and unclench him fists. What?
That's not your slime.
Oh, it was.
No, it wasn't. I watched him clench and unclench his fist.
I didn't want to have to tell you this, ever. I guess I just hopped.
You're kidding me right now.
I'm having too much fun with this. Now, I didn't want to have to tell you this, ever. I guess I just hope that it didn't have in my head all along.
What?
I didn't want to have to tell you this, ever. I guess I just hope that it had been in my head all along. You know, now that Dad's gone and you and I are starting our life together, I just thought rather than separating them like my family had been doing for years, I should see what happened. Maybe the curse had been I might just talk in my normal voice. Maybe the curse had been existed in the first place, and I would have never have this awful conversation with you. But look where that got us. A tear onto the bed. Okay.
A tear fell onto the bed. For the next several days, Tony wouldn't look me in the eye. You would think it was him out there torturing Pee-wee that night. That's how ashamed he was. Seeing how profoundly this instance affected him just made me love him more. I have told him as much time and time again since that day. He has never believed me. And that was the first infanticide I witnessed on Anthony's family farm. 4 years and several deaths have transpired since then. Tried to keep the animals separated, and obviously they needed to reproduce to sustain the farm. But sometimes the killings happened before we even knew the mother was giving birth. I don't want to make a laundry list because obviously these things aren't pleasant for me to relive. But one other episode that I constantly have nightmares about is Snoozers. What a fucking name for a cat.
Here's
He must have took a lot of cat
Snoozers.
naps.
Well, Snoozers.
Snoozers was a barn cat who would appear curled up, napping in... Oh, I was right. Napping in random places on the farm. Sometimes we wouldn't see her for days. Tony and I had been talking about how she was getting big enough for us to assume she was pregnant, and we tried to keep an eye on her, but you know cats. She came and went as she pleased. We really started to get worried when we didn't see her for almost 2 weeks. That's when I was certain she had given birth, and I feared for the lives of those helpless infant kittens. But what could we do? I went on with my farm chores, having taken on more responsibility once Anthony got promoted. He was a quality assurance specialist for the USDA, and his new position meant he occasionally had to travel to conduct training. Mid-mornings was when I got around to changing out all the food and water. As soon as I walked over to the goat's pen, I noticed Snoozers lounging on a pile of hay. Snoozers! I chirped at once, thrilled and terrified. She was noticeably thinner, but I didn't see the kittens. Oddly, this made me feel much better. It would have put a maddening pressure on me to rescue them, and I would spend every second until Tony came home feeling like I had to protect them with my life. I just wasn't equipped to handle something like this on my own. Honestly, I was fine pretending she had never been pregnant at all. I slipped into the pen and knelt down to pet Snoozers. The clump of orange fur stretched and did a happy cat blink as I stroked her. At the insistence of the goats, I stood up and went to give them fresh water. Water was in a big black 10-gallon tub in the corner of the pen. We changed it every few days. As you can imagine, by day 3 the water was murky with hay, dirt, food, and whatever other yuckiness the goats had on their mouths when they went to drink. Tiny as I am, I struggled to pick it up and pitch it over the fence. Oh, so she's a pygmy. Tiny. I heard the water splash onto the ground, followed by 5 or 6 distinct plopping noises. I was so shocked I dropped the tub. Lying on the ground in front of me were the shriveled, soaking wet bodies of Snoozer's kittens. Now how the fuck did she get them up in that?
Who in the hell would name their kitten Snoozers?
Because she was napping all the time.
Oh, yeah.
How'd she get them in there? They were so little that their eyes had not even opened yet. Shakily, I got to my knees and stared with tearful eyes at the corpses. The most frightening part was the lack of injuries. They didn't even have the self-awareness or strength to fight for their lives. All I could imagine was Snoozers taking her kittens in her mouth one by one and systematically holding them underwater until they stopped moving. None of the food or water got switched until that evening. I spent the whole day in bed trying to get Tony on the phone. He would be home tomorrow afternoon. Until then, he suggested, put a towel over the kittens and he would take care of them when he returned. And I wish I could say the reason I'm writing now is because I am fearing for the life of another animal, but Jesus Christ, it is so much worse than that. Of course, Anthony and I had a discussion about this shortly after we found out I was pregnant. What if it happens to me? I had asked him. What if I try to kill the baby?
Wanda, sweetheart,
He said, running a hand through my hair.
I promise that is not going to happen. I was raised on this farm, remember? Our baby is going to be happy and healthy.
I hate myself for being too scared to point out the fact that he was raised solely by his father. His mother, as the story goes, died during childbirth. But as I look back now, I wonder if that's just what he was told so he wouldn't ask questions. Tonight, I'm in the house by myself. I gave birth a week and a half ago, and in all that time, I've never been alone. Anthony, my parents, our families, our neighbors have all been incredibly supportive. And with all the attention and company, it has been easy to ignore the thoughts I am terrified to be having. Thoughts of killing my child. At first, I tried to tell myself that it was psychosomatic, that I had in effect cursed myself by believing this curse existed in the first place. Every night since JJ was born, I have lain awake, reading about postpartum depression on my phone. I was dying to find something, anything, validating these feelings. And of course, if you search long enough on the internet, you can convince yourself of anything. But each time I put down that phone and looked at the little lump in the crib beside me, all I could think about was how much I wanted to kill it. I don't even understand why. And that's what's devouring me from the inside out, is I can't even try to reason with myself. I haven't breathed a word of this to my husband. If he thought for a moment that leaving JJ alone with me was endangering our child's life, he might do to me what I'm convinced his father did to his mother. Besides, I love this child. What's so maddening, really, is the genuine maternal attachment that I have to JJ. I love him so much, I can't even put it into words. But I don't know how much longer I can fight this impulse. Even sleep doesn't give me a respite from this hell. Nightmares have gotten increasingly worse. The night before Tony left, I dreamed that the baby and I were hiding from a killer. I clutched him to my chest and ran through a dark cornfield, pausing only to catch my breath and hear the telltale rustle of the murderer. Finally, I found my way out of the field. A small farmhouse was in sight. I ran as fast as I could to safety and locked the door. I sat on the sofa with JJ in my arms until I calmed down, and then I placed him on the table in front of me, took off his clothes, and began peeling away his skin. He didn't make a sound, just stared at me with omniscient eyes. When I tore off a slice of skin, I placed it in a neat pile on either side of him. One by one, I exposed his organs until all that was left of his skin was the patch between his eyeballs. We stared at each other until they rolled back into his head. I woke up then. I darted to the bathroom and vomited before Tony could ask me what was wrong. I coughed at the door that I had food poisoning or something, and showered for an hour and a half until my heart rate slowed back to normal. It's night time. I put JJ down after I finished dinner and went to watch some TV, trying to take my mind off the thoughts I was having. The last thing I remember is feeling like I was nodding off, but not quite falling asleep. And just now, just 20 minutes ago, I woke up, came to. I just suddenly realized I was in the hallway upstairs with a kitchen knife in my hand. I screamed and flung it away from me and collapsed where I was in hysterical tears. I have no control over myself anymore. Who am I? I can hear JJ crying. He's been at it for a while, wailing from hunger. I haven't fed him since early this morning because I fear that if I try to feed him, I'll choke him to death before I can stop myself. Even if I did call Tony or my mother or a neighbor or the police, I know that the moment I put that phone down, I would kill JJ before anyone arrived. Writing out these truths, these thoughts, is the only thing that has kept me from taking the life of my child. I am shaking so hard now. I know I don't have much time left before I can't take it anymore. And since the instant the first murderous thought popped into my head, I have been using every mental faculty to figure out how to prevent this. And I did. Tonight, I figured out how to save JJ's life. I cannot risk another blackout like I just had on the stairs. Recording all this has been glorified procrastination. Anthony, I love you. JJ, I love you. Please never forget that. And I hope you can both move on and live long, happy lives. I just have one last request before I take my life tonight. Burn this fucking farm to the ground. And that's the end.
So...
Did you not like it?
I don't know what to think about this one.
I liked it.
Like, what exactly was going on?
Every mother kills their newborn, even the humans, and they don't know why.
So the farm's cursed, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
There's some kind of curse with the land.
Oh, that explains it.
And so she figured out, like, well, I'm going to have to kill myself because it's me or this child.
Like, whenever I read along with you, I don't really pay attention to the story because I'm like waiting, worried about the dialogue. I'm just paying attention to...
Too nervous.
Too nervous.
Hopefully it's not a disservice to the stories that we're not taking it serious, but...
I think they'll enjoy it.
I don't care.
You gotta have a laugh.
Well, I'm not a serious person.
No.
Ever.
It's okay to have a laugh every now and then. Maybe it'll make their day. Maybe they're going to have a bad day and they're going down this.
Or
and they're
maybe
laugh.
they're having a bad day and we made it worse.
Well, yeah, possibly. Hopefully, would it make you have a worse day
I
than
don't
what you
care if I
already
made
had?
it worse. If I made your day worse, I don't know what to tell you.
Everybody needs a little laugh to cheer up.
Okay, well, if you have a suggestion for a story you want us to read, or TV show you want us to review, or a movie, or just any suggestion as long as it's horror related, follow us on our social medias. And if you're listening on Spotify, I would love if you would give us a star rating.
And let us know if you're enjoying it so far.
It doesn't have to be a 5, but it would be great if it was a 5.
Even if it's a 1.
No, don't do a 1.
Well, maybe a 2 or a 3.
Please don't do a 1. I can't make you, but please don't do that.
And let us know what you think.
That's mean. Okay, bye.
And that wraps up that episode. Until next time, y'all have a good night.